Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is TWiT.
Audio bandwidth for the Daily GizWiz is provided by Winamp. Subscribe to the Daily GizWiz and all your favorite podcasts with the ultimate media player. Download it for free at winamp.com. Video bandwidth for the Daily GizWiz is provided by Cashfly at CACHEFLY.com. It's time for the Daily GizWiz with Mad's maddest writer, Dick DeBartolo. This is episode 1300 for Friday, March 4th, 2011. The Bell Sonic Core Cordless Telephone.
And now, get ready for Dick.
It's called Dick's Home for the Old. The gadgets who no longer care. The gadgets for whom there is no hair. It is, as we say, Dick's Gadget Warehouse today.
They're geeky and they're goofy. Together they are loopy. When gadgets pass away, he takes them out to play. In Dick's Gadget Warehouse.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here he is, Dickie D. Hey, it's March. It's March 4th.
Yes.
Yes, the 4th of March, March 4th, into the Gadget Warehouse.
1300.
Good Lord, man! When will it end?
Never. Hopefully never.
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 By the time we get to episode 10,000, we'll be pouring our brains into a computer, and they can finish the job for us.
That's right. Watson can take over and do both parts.
I'm sorry, Alex. I pick Dick for 400. Yeah, I think so. Did you watch that?
I watched a little bit of it.
I couldn't see it, but I went back and on YouTube they have it, and boy, it's really kind of creepy, that computer that's playing Jeopardy.
No, absolutely. That he knows how to bet, and you know.
Hey, and he won.
I know.
Amazing.
But I think killing the other contestants is really not the way the game's played.
And this is why we keep saying we don't want the machines to rule the earth, okay?
Yeah, don't, you know, the thing is that they'll be friendly, build them, and they will obey. I don't believe it for a minute.
Don't believe it.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, I wanted to thank you for the Jawbone Jaw Box.
Oh.
You lent that to me. That was you talked about it on the show a few weeks ago.
Yeah, we did it as a
It's a
gadget.
Bluetooth gadget. It's so funny because Don McAllister was also on the cruise, also had one and was recommending it in his lecture. I said, I have that. Dick gave me one. And it was great. I was able to listen to my music in the cabin. It was fantastic. I really think that's I mean, it's a little pricey, but boy, I sure liked it. And the sound quality is good, especially if you back it into a corner because sound comes off both sides. Do they say that in the manual that you're supposed to, like, put it in a corner to bounce off like Bose?
No, but normally knowing from early Bose speakers where they said, like
direct
6
reflect.
inches
Remember
wall,
that?
so,
yeah.
That you actually play with it a little bit and you can get better sound out of them.
Yeah, even much louder. It was it was great for the trip, I have to say, and I've got it up now in my office. We're using it as a speakerphone. So just let me know when you want it back. But no,
I
love it.
Just hang on to it.
Well, I don't want it to end up in the warehouse, for crying out loud. What do you got? What do you got for us today?
I have something from my Bell Sonic Core 900 megahertz. This was a pretty big deal back in 1999. The cordless headset telephone worked on analog 900 megahertz. It had a base station, and this is what the headset telephone looked like.
Oh, it's so ugly. It's so big.
Yeah, well, I know. Well, it was very inventive.
God. It had the dial pad on the ear?
Yeah. And the base station, because it turns out you really can't use a dial pad on the ear.
No.
I thought when I first spoke to the people, I said, oh, so sound comes out both sides of the phone. And yes. Well, it turns out the other side of the phone is just a ear rest. So what I thought you could do is listen for the dial tone on the one side and possibly dial the keypad on the other side, but you can't because the keypad is right opposite the earpiece. So there is no possible way to wear this headset and dial unless you do it in front of a mirror.
It doesn't make any sense. Well, I guess you could take it off, dial, and then put it on, but then
put it back on.
What have you gained?
The only real reason is you could dial it on the keypad on the base station and then hit send, and it would go to the headset. But then why bother putting the keypad on the side of the phone? It was around for a very short time. And strangely, I
am so thrilled you saved that. That is hysterical.
It is hysterical. And the funny thing is, on eBay, someone's selling one, and it's marketed by IBM. It's the exact same unit, but it's called the IBM cordless headset telephone.
Does it play Jeopardy?
Obviously, yeah, that's right. It should.
Wouldn't that be funny?
That would be a riot. I mean, so yeah, this is one of those things that belongs in the warehouse, because when you first think, you go, "Wow, I'm wearing the keypad." Okay, try to use the keypad.
I dimly remember those. That's was it the 80s that came out?
It came out in 1999.
What? So, who? Come now, really?
That's what the box is marked.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. We should have been beyond that.
12 years ago, and we were still doing that?
We were still trying to go, oh, well, I'll just call an arbitrary person.
I know if I keep pushing buttons someday, something will happen.
Somebody. Leo, is that you? Oh, I'm sorry. This is my 800th call. Bap, 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 bap. Hello, is that Leo? No. Okay.
Wow. It's Bell Sonic Core.
Yes. It did have one feature that was kind of new for the time. It had mic and speaker outputs, so that you could actually use it with your computer also. So it was a little safe grace.
Oh, well, okay.
But
Even
again,
better.
You don't need the keypad for that either. So who knows what they were thinking.
It was so if you have a friend, they can dial for you. Here, put this on.
Hey, Dennis, can you do me a favor?
Can you dial the phone?
Could you get downstairs? Could you and Dennis, could you hurry? Could you call 911?
Please.
I keep getting 899.
And now, a letter to the Giz Wiz.
And the letter comes from Mike Walker, who says, "Oh, this is you, dear Leo.
Yes.
This is a fan letter. First fan letter.
Why do they send them to you? Why don't they send them to me?"
Well, I guess you might not read it because you
that's
would
why.
say, "Yeah, there you go."
Very simple.
First fan letter I've written. I'm 68 years old.
Wow.
You deserve this letter, like many other heroes in my life to whom I did not send fan letters.
Aww.
You'll recognize some of them from your East Coast upbringing. Gene Shepard comes to mind.
Love him. He's my hero. In fact, my inspiration. So.
Oh, okay. There you go. I spent many evenings in high school and grad school listening to the Shep.
Yep.
Just to hear the master. But let's talk about you. I found you on ZDTV 2 nights after they installed the satellite dish at my home. I watched and sometimes taped screensavers and XXX almost every night. It was the Kate Botello era when you danced every night at the end of the show. I was there the night your wrap-up line referred to an earlier Tennessee caller, and it was something like, "Well, I guess we're going to have to pull our pork tonight."
Oh, jeez.
Your follow-up line got me. It's times like this, there's nothing to do but dance. You swept Kate off her feet and danced on the days. Yes,
we would dance at the end of every show. It was really fun.
Hey, pal, you got a big building coming up. You could waltz out the door.
Actually, that's a great idea. Maybe we should bring that back. We are trying to get the staircase back because that was part of the fun of it. We would sit on the staircase, then she would jump off the staircase, and we would dance.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Hey, you are a 100% professional broadcaster. Thanks to the TWiT network, I get to see you as much as I want. I always listen to This Week in Tech and the Daily GizWiz. Sometimes I shoot the daily satellite download limit to get the Daily GizWiz video podcast. I tune in live to some of the broadcasts. I enjoy your work very much. And you know what? I'll just read this part because this is very true, Leo. You're inventive, knowledgeable, kind-hearted. Your integrity, I buy the products, is beyond reproach. You know
I'm
how
going
to
to burst into tears here.
Yeah, well, I know. This is written in crayon, by the way.
Oh, thank God.
No. You know how to include everybody and make them feel safe on both sides of the microphone. And you know how far to stretch it on the microphone when you do the Daily GizWiz with Dickie D. We're in good hands, Leo. Thanks for many great hours of pleasure, Mike Walker.
Mike, this is for you. You remember this? This is the Gene Shepard theme song. And boy, I still, when I hear this, it brings me back to being under the covers in bed, listening to this. And the great Gene Shepard. And boy, he was a radio inspiration. A lot of people nowadays know him from The Christmas Story, which was that great movie.
Yes, absolutely.
And he narrates it, and of course, it's his story. He would come on the air and just tell stories. It was all ad-libbed. He would just tell stories, and it was wonderful.
Yeah, we should try that approach sometime. Throw away the scripts and just wing it.
If only I had the nerve.
Yeah,
to do
it takes a certain talent. You know what, Leo? We don't have that kind of talent.
No, he was a talent. Here's a little bit of Gene Shepard from. He's going to do Casey at the Bat. I think this is somebody recorded this some years ago, I believe.
Now I will begin Casey at the Bat, and this, by the way, is in the classical form. Do you know that Casey at the Bat so upset so many people for so many years that they finally had to rewrite it? Did you know that one little...
He's BSing just like us. It's all made up.
Wrote it so that Casey did not flub the dub? Literally, do you know that? Huh.
Oh, I love him. I'm glad you... Mike, it was Mike, right? I'm glad you
Mike
mentioned that because it's great to think about that again. Well, thanks for the very kind words. And Dick, thank you for a great week. I'm glad to be back. And...
glad to have you back.
Have a great weekend. I'm sure the weather's starting to turn now, right? A little spring in the air.
Well, spring in the air and hurt my back. What are you kidding?
Just stay on the ground, okay? We'll see you. We'll see you on Monday.
I'll be here.
DAILY.